Welcome to episode 32 of the World of Screens podcast. On today's show, reviews for Wake Up, Dead Man, the new Knives Out mystery, and Zootopia 2. Plus, as always, take a look at the Aussie box office from last weekend. I'm Nick Labarra, the founder and film editor at World of Screens, joined as always by Mr. Peter Gray of the AU Review, Rotten Tomatoes certified critic man, the bellwether critic, TIFF loyal, TIFF native, and all-round interview extraordinaire, and the man who, in the second week of December with me, will be watching Avatar, Anaconda, and The Housemaid back to back to back because we don't want to have a quiet December. We want to watch all the movies. How you going, Pete?
Very well. Now that that's all out of the way, it's funny. It's funny around this time of year because we just get like pumped full of movies. As we
Yep.
said in previous episodes, we've got 2026 titles already locked in or
Yep.
locked done. And when everyone on, Boxing Day, between Boxing Day and New Year's, when everyone's like, "Oh, let's go to the movies," we're like, "Let's stay at home."
Let's stay at home and sleep.
Um,
That is what
uh,
I will
we
be doing for
we
Christmas.
sleep or we watch the copious amounts of movies that we've both bought and haven't been able to watch yet. Yes,
Exhibit A through to Z.
and these ones are all like a single layer.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Those
you've,
ones
oh,
are
I
a
can see us come
double.
forward a bit.
They're forward because I've been like, yep. So many. But like this, it was around like this time a couple of years ago that there was like a whole bunch of like Netflix movies that had come out across the
Yep.
year that I just hadn't seen. So I watched like was it Sweet Girl with Momoa?
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Oh, God. Yeah,
the
that's
the
right.
Mila Kunis Best Girl in the World, one of those sort of ones. There's a whole bunch of movies that I decided to watch, and I don't know if I'll do the same thing with Netflix this year, but I'll definitely do the same thing with movies that I bought. Um,
Yes,
and
I.
that,
Funny you mentioned that. I literally just made a list last night of movies that I'm yet to watch from this year, and there's a
yeah,
couple in there that we have coming up. Like we're seeing Mighty Supreme next week. That's on the list. That's
yes,
exciting.
yes,
Avatar's obviously on that list for things. I haven't seen Jay Keller yet. Was telling you I haven't seen Frankenstein yet,
no,
which is crazy. But then it's like the list of movies where I'm like, I'm slightly intrigued. I want to watch Hurry Up Tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see what the weekend has
I
on offer.
I I really want you to watch Hurry Up Tomorrow because then I
That's what
can
I'll be
talk to
doing.
somebody about it because I feel like I'm the only person in Australia who saw that movie.
I will be watching it between Boxing Day and New Year's Eve, that's for sure. But
And
I've got all
I
the Netflix and like I got Back in Action on there, Old Guard 2,
Oh, you
Fountain of
haven't seen Back in
Youth.
Action either.
Now,
I mean, you're not missing
The
a whole lot.
Gorge, Play Dirty. Like I haven't seen any of
Oh,
these movies
okay.
yet. So
Yeah. No, obviously I've seen The Gorge, I've seen Play
highest
Dirt.
to
I haven't
lowest,
I haven't seen the Oldest Guard 2 yet. Old Guard.
Old Guard,
Um, but
Charlize.
I am, I'm predicting that
Mm.
once Nick watches Hurry Up Tomorrow, I will get a
You'll
influx of messages of like, dude, what the fuck was
you're
that?
it's not even gonna
Or
be after. I'm gonna be live messaging you as
during,
I
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
watch Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Or sometimes because Nick sometimes likes to throw a curveball, he might be like, "Hey, I'm kind of
It's
fucking with Hurry Up Tomorrow."
I do say I have been known to send a message where I'm like, I'm kind of fucking with this
With
movie.
it.
And that
Yeah,
usually means for me, that's like the movie's not good,
good,
but there is
but
something happening
yeah,
within my soul with this
that
movie.
is good.
And Hurry Up
Um,
Tomorrow could be that.
but I would also like to be like, I don't. It is just a bafflingly bad movie that I
Oh
hadn't
no.
remembered until you mentioned it right then.
I
Um,
didn't
yeah,
I when I was just looking through as I do on Wikipedia, they
yeah,
have like
the
all the
what?
releases,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
American releases for this year. And when that popped up, I was like, wasn't that 2024? No, that was this year.
You know
The year of
what's
our Lord 2025.
You know what's wild to think what was a 2025 movie?
What?
Wolfman.
That's wild because we saw that on the 2nd of January.
Yeah, but that doesn't feel like a movie that came out this year.
It does not.
That feels like a 2024 movie,
That feels
but
like a long
it
time. I
came
wonder if
out
it's
this
because we
year.
were talking about it in 2020, similar to how we've done some 2026 titles already. That to
Yeah,
me strikes that sort of like,
yeah.
yeah, that
And I
sort of
think because
now
we knew we were seeing it in 2024.
2024. Sometimes
But
we just transport to the future and we
we
just,
do. But it's wild to think there probably yeah, like I imagine if I went through the list of what came out this year, I'd be like, oh shit,
There's a
okay,
lot. I think I have
that's a lot.
37 movies on that list at the moment. And that was even that, I think that was being conservative.
Yeah,
There's a lot that I wasn't looking for that I'm like, I'm not going to get all of these watched. So,
no, but
and that's
you
okay.
know,
And then, like you said, we've got the classics that we bought. We were just talking about Rhiannon's coming back from her New York trip, and there are some Criterions in that suitcase that is getting boarded onto a plane right now, which I will find time in the next 5 to 10 business years to watch.
yeah,
So
no, I'm
that
gonna,
is where we're at.
yeah, I think I'm gonna literally dedicate a day to be like, this will close,
Yeah.
and I will just watch movie to movie. But like, ideally, I was like, I also want it to be like overcast, so it can be night, a little bit dark
A
outside.
day
So
inside weather.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't want it like beaming sun and me watching a movie. Like,
My other issue that I don't think affects you that much is that on Boxing Day we have the Boxing Day Test match. I'm a cricket
yeah, no,
diehard.
that does not affect me at
That's
all.
8 hours of a day that I usually spend drinking from, let's be honest, like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and just sitting there and watching cricket, which doesn't usually rain out for Melbourne on Boxing Day. We're usually
No,
pretty lucky, knock on
yeah,
wood. So that will also be intersecting with my movie watching time. But Pete, that's over a month from now. Why do we even care? We got movies that came out this week that we
this
got to talk
week.
about first.
And you know, it was there was a good segue sitting right there because I was talking about all of those films on Netflix.
That is so true.
And you know
The
what's coming to Netflix, but is in cinemas right now?
Wake up, dead man.
You're the only one on stage with the Monsignor at the time of his killing. And you're the only one at that church who hated his guts.
The spirit really moved him today, huh?
So tell me, what the hell happened?
Benoit Blanc returns for his most dangerous case yet.
You're like, cool, thanks, bro.
Thanks,
Like,
IMDb.
yeah, wow, really,
Wikipedia came through though,
yeah,
because
really, really flex on that one.
Wake Up Dead Man is a murder mystery film written and directed by Ryan Johnson. It's a standalone sequel to Glass Onion and the third installment overall in the Knives Out series. It stars Daniel Craig, who is reprising his role as Detective Benoit Blanc. The ensemble cast includes Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, Kaylee Spaney, Daryl McCormick, and Thomas Hayden Church. Home run ensemble once more for Ryan Johnson. You saw this at TIFF.
I did, yes. This was there was yeah, there was that this
They've done all three Knives Out at TIFF, right? They've
I
done,
believe
I
so.
think
I
so. Yeah.
believe so. Obviously, I saw the first one at the media screening here in
Yes.
2019 before we
Yep.
knew what the world was going to
When the world was
become.
a little different.
And yeah, my first TIFF in 2022,
Mm,
Glass Onion was premiering. I was like, amazing. Let's go watch that. I saw it on a ridiculous IMAX screen. I like
I love
just
it.
and it was like, and it's as I found out this year, it has since closed down that particular IMAX cinema because
Oh,
it was far away from the hub of TIFF where there's
right.
like cinemas all in like walking distance of each other. This one was a little bit further out. But I remember traveling there and I saw Pearl and Glass Onion as like
As a
double
double feature.
a
That's
double thing
pretty cool.
on this giant screen. Um, just I mean, like all good movies, communal experience helps with this. Glass Onion definitely had like everyone was kind of in for the ride, the sort of ridiculousness of it all.
Yes.
And then when it came to this year's TIFF, Wake Up Dead Man was just one of those titles that I was like, this is a non-negotiable. Like I'm
Totally.
seeing
Yeah.
this movie. And I managed to get I had a ticket to it, and then I was worried that I was going to miss it because of the LA trip
Oh,
that
that's right.
happened.
Yeah, yeah.
But it managed to work out that I arrived back in Toronto, and then 2 hours later, I
Was
was in the
watching
cinema
Wake Up
watching
Dead Man.
Wake Up Dead Man. And again, like if you can, this is one of those movies that it's so good on the big screen. It's so good in a cinema. And it just really makes you go. Ryan Johnson step away from the Netflix and put these movies back
Back in
in
cinemas.
cinemas, or at the very least, do a Del Toro and try to get these things released on physical media
Totally.
because I feel like, I don't know, the commentary that could be provided for this, just like, yeah.
I would even just think the general making of would be so
Yeah.
interesting for this. Watching sort of seeing his process on crafting a mystery would be really exciting. Obviously, like the one of the greatest special features of all time, I think unanimously, is his documentary on The Last Jedi
Mm,
Blu-ray about making The Last Jedi. It's like
yeah.
anyone who loves physical media special features, shout out to the physical media episode we did a few weeks ago with Dave Lee. That is a fantastic documentary about the making of The Last Jedi. So I could imagine that for Knives Out, any of the Knives Out films, like
Yeah.
would be
I mean,
awesome.
it would be amazing if, like, because we know that Ryan Johnson's working on a fourth Knives Out. Um
Yes.
and
Fleshing out ideas, him and Daniel
fleshing out
Craig.
ideas. I don't know if he's apparently I think his contract with Netflix is done.
Well, because they bought two films,
They
they
bought
bought two
two.
sequels. Yeah.
I feel like given how critical he's been, it would be very surprising if he agreed to
But
do it
imagine,
again.
imagine if they throw
Just
so much
copious
money
amounts
at
of
him.
money.
Like you wonder when it is tough to say no. But then Knives Out, the first one, was made on a modest budget as well. It's like, can
Yeah,
you go back? That's the thing with Glass Onion and Wake Up Dead Man. They have
they
gotten
have.
bigger each
Yeah,
film.
yeah. But it would be kind of amazing if, like, say, the fourth Knives Out was sort of the traditional, like, theatrical route, and he
Mm.
managed to release Glass Onion and Wake Up Dead Man with the, and like you
4K
had
box set.
but you have a documentary about how frustrating the
Yeah.
Netflix experience was because, they sort of promise you the world
And then rip it away.
and then renege on it. But which is why I'm so grateful that, you know, there are particular films that are deemed cinema
Hmm.
worthy,
Yep.
regardless if they're only in cinemas for a week, as we've seen with Frankenstein, that has been pushed beyond a week because
Yeah.
it's like a lot of
It's
people
still
are
out
going
about 6 weeks later. Yeah.
going to it. But either way, the Knives Out films are just fantastically entertaining movies.
Yeah.
Wake Up Dead Man is no exception, but it is a very, very different beast from one and two.
It is a different beast because two major elements take a back seat, which is
Mm,
it's a weird thing to say. The ensemble takes a massive back seat.
yep.
I would argue the mystery takes a back seat as well.
No, I agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I would say maybe it could be the weakest mystery, but not in a bad way.
It's not the focal point of the film
No, it's
like it was for
very
Glass Onion and Knives Out. Yeah.
no, yeah. This is very much yeah. This is Josh O'Connor's movie. Like
And god damn
Daniel,
it, 2025 is Josh O'Connor's year.
yeah. He is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
And I think that this is what it'll surprise a lot of people. It could potentially piss people off who are expecting, like, Knives Out sort of had that a bit of like cheekiness to it. Glass Onion was very like focused on, I guess, the entertainment factor.
It
Like
was very over the top and
it
it
was
was
so over
very,
the
yeah.
top and so colorful, and like every character was kind of exaggerated.
Mhm.
So it makes sense that you'd be like, oh, it's another Knives Out movie. It'll be like a fun mystery. And not that Wake Up Dead Man isn't fun, but
And it's not that there's not a mystery to get
mystery,
solved. Yeah.
yeah, it's just they've really focused on like this element of like religion and what that means
It's
in terms of like that sort of, I guess, false, um,
false
like
leadership and
yeah,
idols, and
yeah.
it's
It's,
a
I mean,
movie about where faith and guilt intersect,
yeah,
and it's a
and
very critical look at that. Ryan
it's
Johnson does
very,
not like religious
that's
organizations.
it. And in this sort of time where leaders
Mhm.
are not leading correctly and are
Not
kind of
leading well,
not
yeah,
really, and a very like self-appointed in a lot of
and
ways.
have their core followers. Some would say
Yes.
it's like a very core group who are scared to say else
bit,
Anything else
a bit,
or
a bit. I'm gonna make sure I say this word very clearly because it could come off other a bit culty.
culty? Yes, it was very
Yes, because
very culty. Yeah, yes,
really
yes, yes.
culty. But having said all that, it's a fantastic
It's a
movie,
really great
and
movie. It
and
is
I
the
also don't
dialogue in
think
this movie is pitch perfect.
and
It's
I
so
also
good.
don't think the mystery is like
It's not
it,
bad.
it's not bad, and it's also not like that easily telegraphed either. Like you're sort
No,
of watching it going, there are everybody like in the case of every Knives Out movie, everybody has a reason
everyone
for
has motive. Yeah,
dispersing of. I mean, the trailers have the trailers
I
let
haven't
it.
seen the trailer to be
Okay,
honest. Yeah,
I feel like I don't know. Do we say who is killed or not?
I think it is revealed that it is Josh Brolin's character who is killed.
You-
I think that is actually
I
out
love
there.
it. I love it. Should we reveal it? Well, I think Josh Brolin's. Like, so it's like we've
So,
revealed it. Josh
because the
Brolin
whole idea
is
is he's the Monsignor of the church that
yes,
Josh O'Connor is sent to after a violent incident, I guess we will say.
yes, yeah,
And the clergy does not like Josh O'Connor
mm.
because he's an outsider. He's infiltrating this core group, and you got like Close, who's like the devout church lady who is like
She's
Josh Brolin's right hand man.
and
Man.
she's pretty fantastic in
Oh,
this.
she's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
And then everyone else who is within part of the congregation, pretty much everyone except Mila Kunis, who is the sheriff, who is
yeah,
the town sheriff,
yeah,
have a reason to be so dedicated and loyal to Josh Brolin,
yeah,
who is preaching fire and brimstone. He's
yeah.
pretty much being like, the world's fucked and everything about it is bad and we're all going to hell. But if you follow me and listen to me, you'll be fine. And he
Oh
scares
yeah,
people and he
but also
says really outrageous shit. Yeah.
if you follow me and listen to me and give me all your money.
Give me all your money as well. Yeah, yeah. That's
um,
why it's so funny because you look at it, his clergy is a doctor, a lawyer, an aspiring politician, a world-class musician who through disability has lost her ability to play music well. So like you look at like a best-selling author. These are
yeah,
not blue-collar people. These
no,
are these are not people who are just trying to get by day. They live in a small, isolated town in very
yeah,
nice houses and go to a church that is very beautiful.
mm,
Ryan Johnson has a lot to say about, and that's why this movie feels different because even though Glass Onion was a bit of an eat the rich mentality, it
mm,
was very over the top. This feels a lot more grounded in reality.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the great focal point is the fact that Josh O'Connor is an ex boxer who becomes a priest because of something that happened in the boxing ring, and
mm,
he's riddled with guilt. And it is this whole move to this new church is a test of his faith. So when he is grappling with that after the murder, and then you get Benoit Blanc who comes in and goes like, "I'm logic, I'm reason, and I'm an atheist."
mm,
Watching those two have discussions about theology is really interesting, and it's very
yeah,
well written. And Ryan Johnson telegraphs a lot of things, and the biggest thing I noticed was lighting in this film. There are
mm,
literal scenes of like divine intervention lighting that comes through, and then all of a sudden, maybe Benoit Blanc will say something, and then the room goes dark like there's a fucking storm cloud that's just come over and made it nighttime. Like it is really, really well done in that regard. So I think, and that's more interesting than the mystery. So it's
yeah,
great that that's the focal point. It's just super different to Knives Out and Glass Onion.
yeah, yeah. And you know, it's funny. Like, yeah, Daniel Craig isn't in this thing for like the first
I think it was about
40,
45 minutes. He's
45 minutes.
sorry, no,
Um,
the movie opens with a shot of him because they want everyone to be like, remember, it's a Knives Out
it's a
movie.
Knives Out movie, but now
And
we're
then
going
it's
to take
all
away
Josh
from it.
O'Connor. It's all Josh
Um,
O'Connor, which is great. It sets up everything so
yeah,
well.
I will say, like, because I feel like Knives Out and Glass Onion probably utilized the ensemble
Well, that's because
slightly
those
more,
movies are about the mystery. You
yeah,
need those
probably
elements.
like more effectively just because in this one, like, there are particular characters who just, are not, they're not really given too much, but then at the same
Hmm.
time, it's like they don't really need to do too
Yeah.
much. But like, yeah, Josh O'Connor, Josh Brolin, Glenn Close get very meaty roles.
Well, and because especially when it's in that first 45 minutes, it is Josh Brolin testing Josh O'Connor a lot,
Yeah,
especially
which
with the
is
confession scenes,
and
which are
like that's almost
hilarious.
like which is almost just like I'd watch a whole movie of that.
That.
Like
And then
Josh,
it's
like the two
Glenn
Joshes
Close.
going together.
And it's Glenn Close as well because of her devout dedication to the church. And you get like a
Mm,
flashback early on of her as a child, and
yes.
she was
Those
attacked.
and those flashbacks, like that it's where like it leans into like almost like this like gothic horror sort of
There
stuff. Like
is a really
it's
gothic
really,
movie. This is
yeah,
like Guillermo del Toro's Knives Out, like in the
almost,
most
yeah.
in the most positive way. Yeah,
I will also say like Kerry Washington is
brilliant,
fantastic.
great.
Thomas Hayden, I would say Thomas Hayden Church, Kaylee Spaney, Jeremy Renner to a degree,
Daryl McCormick.
are kind of more sidelined.
Yep.
I liked that Mila Kunis wasn't like a bumbling cop. Like she was
No,
just like
she's
I
yeah.
mean, she's a very I feel like she's an in like a very innocent, like
She's
I
never had to deal with this before,
yeah,
but
she's like
she's
I'm
able
yeah.
to.
She's like, I'm a small town cop. This stuff doesn't happen. But now
Mm,
that's happened, she's like, I'm getting to the bottom of this.
totally, yeah.
I will say, like, even though Darren McCormick's got a smaller role,
It's funny.
he's so fantastic in this.
It's
Like,
so
he's
funny because
some really great stuff.
he is the epitome of the class. That's not the class. The type of person Ryan Johnson is criticizing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he is
Oh, when you
filming.
see that he goes for like he's gone for like every single possible
It's
like
so
religious angle.
funny.
It's so funny. It's
And
so
he's filming all of Josh Brolin's character's sermons and putting
yeah,
them clips up on YouTube, and it's just all just like priest destroys woke mob, and like
yeah.
it's really
It,
it's very funny and very
and it's like
hilarious.
this is what I was like, this is what a lot of you like
This is
quote unquote
America.
influencers want to do. Like you think it's so important, and newsflash, you're not. Just because you have a TikTok awards doesn't mean it's a real thing. That's all I'm saying. I know that might piss a lot of people off, but like, I'm sorry, but
Oh God. But like all in all, like I liked this more than Glass Onion. I like we were talking about it last week. I've only seen Glass Onion the once, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, actually, did I like it as much as I did, or is that was
yeah,
just
yeah,
one
yeah,
time cinema? I'll have to watch it again. I at this point in time, I like this more than Glass Onion, but it's like just below the original Knives Out
yeah,
for me
yeah,
because I think the Knives Out really the murder mystery of it is so fun. Whereas I
yeah.
really appreciated the character study element of this.
Yes,
Like it
yeah, yeah,
almost
yeah.
didn't need to be a Knives Out film, but
No, it could have
it
just been
works
Wake
that it
Up. It
is.
could have just been Wake Up Dead Man.
Well,
But then,
Ryan Johnson
like,
apparently been like it's pretty much just called Wake Up Dead Man. He's not calling it a Knives Out mystery,
no,
but
I
that is
mean,
what it will be sold as on
it has to
Netflix.
be that
Yeah,
because otherwise you're like, wait, Daniel Craig is yeah.
isn't he that detective from the other films?
From the other films. And now obviously it's everything's going to be like, where does the fourth one go? Who does the fourth one cast? And I mean,
Are
you
we
go,
running out of actors in Hollywood?
well, you go the amount of like you just sort of think the casting is one of the most exciting things. Like
Mm.
every time you hear like this
Who's
person's
three?
been
Who's
cast
three that you would love to see in a Knives Out
in a
film?
Knives Out,
Yeah.
I have always I remember putting this out there once. I was like, I would love um and this is no massive surprise as to
I
who I
was
would
yeah, I
love.
knew
But I was like, I would love Michelle
Michelle
Pfeiffer
Pfeiffer. Yeah.
and Margot Robbie
Oh, you've
as
said
a
this
mother-daughter
before.
team.
Yeah.
Yes. As a
Yeah.
mother-daughter team in
That
some
capacity.
capacity,
Yeah.
whether they're evil, whether they're not, I think that dynamic, and I
Would
think
work really
Margot
well.
Robbie resembles like
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer in a lot of ways.
Totally. Yeah.
And then if another actor throw it in, I don't know, put a put it Dakota Johnson,
Ooh. Yeah.
Kristen Wiig. I don't know, just you can really have anybody.
You need something like really comedic and
But
yeah.
I want any. Doesn't need to be nice at any film. You give me Pfeiffer and Robbie in some capacity, and I will be a very, very happy man.
You're there. You're ready to go.
Yeah. What about
Uh,
you?
Paul Mescal. I think would be. I'd be
Yes.
really like
And we were talking about this recently. We were like, we need Paul Mescal in a modern
just a straight up comedy.
in a comedy because he is actually very funny. Watch his SNL episode for
Yeah.
proof. Yeah.
Common Domingo.
Yes.
He would you know
He
what
would,
he would be great as too? He would be fantastic as like the anti Benoit Blanc. Him
yeah.
and Daniel Craig
Because the
like
whole thing is
detectiving
that
each other.
they very much leaned into the fact that Benoit Blanc is gay.
Is gay, yes, totally. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, his partner, for all you understand, is Hugh Grant.
It's Hugh Grant.
So what would be, what would be really great? Coleman Domingo
Is it like an
as as
ex-lover?
an ex who was like, I always hated how you solved crime, so this is how you do it. And he comes in completely unqualified, but just like, no, no,
This
whatever Benoit Blanc says, Coleman Domingo's like, no, it's
it's
this.
this.
Yeah.
That's so absolutely
Sexual
him
sexual tension the whole time.
the whole goddamn time.
And
And
Hugh Grant being like,
then
just popping up, being like, what about
hello.
me?
Well,
Oh,
well,
hello.
well, I think
Oh.
I'd go with Paddington. Um, and Sophie Thatcher. I
Very
think she'd
nice.
be pretty cool. I think she'd
Yeah,
be,
yeah,
yeah. I think she would
yeah.
bring a lot of like spunky energy to like,
Yeah.
do you know what would be great?
Mm.
Take it back to the mid 90s. Have a
You know,
1990s
yeah.
Knives Out where Benoit Blanc and Coleman Domingo ex-lovers, but it's like fresh though as well. So, or maybe
Yeah.
not. Who knows? They got a history, but
No.
like it would be fucking cool.
And then, my immediate thought of mid-90s is immediately like, oh, you have someone killed in a high school. Coleman Domingo as the sassy principal, as the ex-boyfriend of Benoit Blanc.
Sorry, Stephen Tobolowsky, you're fired. Sorry, Henry Winkler, you're fired. Coleman Domingo is in.
And because it's the 90s, everybody's like, oh my God, it's so progressive to have a black gay principal. And that's why he was murdered.
Liberal and Knives Out mystery. Well, that's Wake Up Dead Man. We're big recommend from both of us.
Big
It's
recommend.
really fun. It's different, but it's really fun.
Yeah, and if you can see it in the cinemas, implore you to do so. But
It's cinematic as fuck. It's such
if
a well
not,
shot movie.
December
December 12th on
December
Netflix
12th.
in cinemas this
Okay.
week and December
Yeah.
12th on
And
Netflix.
it might go past the 1 week engagement. Very easily could.
We can hope so. We can bloody well hope
Frankenstein
so.
did it. So yeah.
Unfortunately, we won't know because Netflix do not release box office information, which is very
No.
upsetting.
Because it would be really interesting to know like how good Frankenstein's done.
It would be very interesting.
But you just
They
go,
will never tell us.
but if cinemas are like pushing it for an extra week, it means it's done well. Because we know
Yes.
if a movie is not doing well, cinemas are not keeping it.
I think
out.
Train Dreams went for like 2 weeks. I think Ballad of a Small Player went for 1 week. So that's how you sort of
And Ballad
get
of a
the
Small
idea.
Player playing for 1 week makes sense.
More than enough. I still
Well,
haven't
not
seen
like
that
yeah,
actually.
like I don't want to completely, I don't want to completely shit on that movie, but
But it was
1 week,
not, yeah.
1 week engagement makes sense. But again, I am very happy I saw it in the cinemas when I did
Right.
even at TIFF. But yeah, it's a very I think because it's the Conclave follow-up, it's like ooh, that
Yeah.
kind of hurt. That always hurts it, I think.
We'll be talking about follow-ups and sequels that hurt a little bit, if maybe for the next review, who knows. But before that, we've got the Australian box office, the top 5 from last weekend, supplied as always by Numero Box Office. Number 5, $225,000, Regretting You. It's a juggernaut, it's a behemoth, it has made a lot of money.
Still hanging around.
Still hanging
Yeah,
around.
just like wild to me.
4th weekend, I think, yeah.
I mean, we enjoyed it for what it
Yeah,
was.
that's fine.
It was funny, sort of. Everybody I've spoken to about it, and I'm just like, I'm not. I was like, Dave Franco's bad at it, right? And everybody's like, oh, he's awful. And we're like, okay, good. Like that's the general consensus. It's like it knew exactly what it wanted to do. It's hit the right audience, but fuck me, Dave Franco is terrible.
Don't worry. Dave Franco redeems himself later in this segment. Number 4, Predator Badlands, $600,000. That's a pretty healthy 3rd weekend for that movie as well.
I'll tell you, Australia have treated that movie a lot nicer than the States did.
We love it.
That dropped off a lot harder in the States than did here.
We like good movies.
We're still supporting it. It's a good time, and
It's a great time.
That is one that because we know it won't get a physical release in Australia, that is one that I will be ordering on 4K because I think in 4K it will look beautiful.
Incredible. Something that did have a bit of a drop comparatively was number 3, $690,000, The Running Man. It's about almost $500,000 less than it earned opening weekend.
I mean
the steam has sort of run out on this one. Yeah,
this has been like an unfortunate one. Because we both had issues with it.
but it wasn't a bad movie.
It wasn't a bad movie. It just didn't really it could have done a lot more with its premise.
Well, actually,
I
I
think,
spoke to someone yesterday who is not a movie person, like just a
yeah,
general, someone I work with, general movie
yeah,
guy, and they're like, "Oh, I loved the first like 2/3 of it, and then
there
the
you go.
ending just sucked." And he
Yeah,
was like, he said the guy was like, it was action packed, and I really liked how intense it was, and then
yeah,
it was just silly. He's like, the
yeah.
ending was just silly, and I'm like,
Does he classify the ending with like from Amelia Jones onwards,
pretty
or like
much, yeah, yeah. He said
yeah,
he mentioned the plane specifically, and I
yeah.
was like, yeah, I
And
was like, yeah,
that's kind of the thing. I was like, this movie, like if you kept him in the game in a different
hmm
way, it could have been something really quite like it could have hit a lot more marks than it did.
yes,
So it's been unfortunate. But you know what? Glenn Powell is going to be
he's going
fine.
to be okay.
His next movie looks great.
Yes, it
Um,
does. How to make what
and
was
I
it?
also
How to make
think
a killing? Yeah.
How to Make a Killing. And I almost was like that's kind of like he needs to delve into that sort of stuff too, and
Mm,
not just be the, action like studio man.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
What did have a good second weekend was Now You See Me, Now You Don't at number two, made 1.3 million.
very
Barely
nice.
dropped off. I think it was 1.7 last week, I think. That's
No,
fucking incredible.
that's great.
Dave Franco redeemed.
And I have obviously
Oh,
finally
you
seen it
finally saw
now.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you enjoyed it?
I did. Yeah, I was like, this is so much fun. This thing f flew
Oh,
by.
it's quick. Yeah.
I was genuinely surprised at the
The
reveal
reveal.
of
Yeah.
who is the mastermind.
Behind all of it.
I
Yeah.
was like, wow. And I when I was speaking to Nick, I was like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the character it is never in the same room with the
The person that the
villain, and
target. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so great. And I loved how it was like. Obviously, it helps to have seen the first two, but you could. I haven't seen the first two since the cinemas. Like that's how long it's been for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
And the fact that I was still like, oh, I know exactly the dynamics of everybody.
Yeah.
I liked that they were like, yeah, Isla Fisher wasn't in the second one because she went off and did the family thing.
Yes.
I like how Lizzie Kaplan was like, what, no one wanted to ring me about it? Like, did you just forget about me? The new, like, Ariana Greenblatt, Dominic Sessa, Justice Smith, like, incredible
Dominic
new.
Sessa was he was the
Yeah.
standout for me. I thought he was great.
I mean, Rosamund Pike, I love her. Even when she's a villain, I was like, when Lizzie Kaplan is like, oh my God, she's great. I know that she's evil, but she's great. I was like, that's how I feel. Like, I
Yeah.
know that I don't want Rosamund Pike to get away with it, but she is
She sells it.
so charming. And like her accent was incredible.
I remember, and a lot of people have said this to me since
Yeah.
I bagged it because I bagged it in the review and I bagged it on the podcast. But I was like, it was too good. Like I'm so used to like Lethal Weapon 2, where the bad guy's South African and it's like not a great South African
Yeah.
accent
No,
because he's
hers
the
is,
villain. Like hers
yeah.
is great. Like,
Yeah.
and that's
And I
what took me out a little bit.
my former manager at the university was
Mm.
from South Africa.
I
And there were so
yes,
many lines that I was like, it's her. I was like, it
I can
sounds
hear it.
like the inflection of certain. I was like,
The
this is
inflection of the South African accent is
yeah, like
incredible.
it's wow. But no,
Rosamund Pike.
it was so much fun. And like it's funny how they're now saying this fourth one is going to be a reset almost. Like
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
he
Yeah,
was
okay.
like, we don't. He's like Jesse Eisenberg and that. He's like they can all take a back seat. He's like we don't
You got a new
necessarily.
cast, yeah.
I was like, okay,
You got a new
it's
horseman.
interesting.
But also,
Um,
like they can come back almost like how Lizzie Kaplan came back in this movie.
yeah. And then
Help
because
them out, sort of thing.
yeah, or like a Morgan Freeman sort of scene where it's like, we need your help, and it's all of them sort of
Yeah,
thing. But
that could be fun.
the cast in that is just wild.
Huge,
Like
yeah.
every single person, I was like, fuck, okay. But no, a
Well,
lot of fun
and the audience has agreed with you because they spent their
yeah,
dollars going to see it
barely
again.
barely a drop off, which is yeah,
Word of mouth.
and it's
And it was up against the number one film,
yeah, which I
which
have I was scrolling through Twitter
mm,
and I saw a brief numero box office thing and was like,
whoa,
wow, the difference between one and two is wild. Number one,
astronomical.
this made a lot of money.
It made a lot of cash. Wicked for
Yeah,
Good opened at
yeah.
number one. So it had Wednesday night preview screenings where it
Mhm.
made 1.7 million. So it made more in one night then number
now you
two.
see we did in number, yeah.
And then the Thursday to Sunday opening weekend, it made 11.7 million. So it had a $13.3 million opening weekend.
Wow.
But it is the second highest Australian opening of the year after a Minecraft movie, which made 13.8 million.
Wow.
Crazy.
I mean, I know that Minecraft did well, but I
Yeah.
was like, fuck, it really did well in Australia. Like, wow.
But yeah, Wicked for Good. I mean, it's wicked pandemonium
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's seeing it. Yeah.
Everyone's seeing it. And it's
And
kind of
rightfully so.
funny. And it's kind of funny how it's like, everyone's saying like, oh, it wasn't as good as the first one, and like, oh, it was shit, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, I was like, well, you've spent $13 million going to see it,
I've
so
heard more positive stuff from audiences though than the critics. That's the thing. Like
yeah,
Rhiannon and her friends saw it in New York and they were like, "Yeah, we loved it. Like it was
yeah,
great." So I think people are just enjoying it. It's a good movie.
yeah,
It's a completely good movie. Like
yeah. Have they seen it? Have they seen it the once over there, or have they seen it
no,
twice?
they just saw it the once. Yeah,
Once. It'd be very interesting to know like what their sin like apart from the fact that they saw it in like the 40X kind of thing, not 40X, like the Dolby
Dolby's
Atmos.
cinema.
It'd
Yeah,
be very interesting to know like what the cinema experience is like because obviously we see so many things from
true.
America of like how bad it is.
That's
Um,
very interesting. I will find that out because they were sitting from the photo. I could tell they were sitting in the back row,
yeah.
so they would have seen
Because
everything.
I've gone to a couple like obviously outside of TIFF, I've
Mm,
been to a few general screenings
mm,
in Canada and the US,
yeah.
and I haven't had to deal with like
What we see on
nonsense
the
what we
yeah.
see. So it's like it'd be really interesting to know if like that's more a very specific screening, a very specific kind of like environment,
But
or it's
we've
or
had
it's kind
shit
of normal.
screenings in Australia too.
Yeah,
Like I feel like we have more good ones than bad ones, so we just
yeah.
hear about, people
So
having to deal with etiquette. So,
yeah,
but that is the box office top 5 from last weekend, Wicked Domination as
be,
expected.
it'll be really interesting. Obviously, the movie that we're about to talk about will
Yes.
be the big competition next week. It'll be really interesting to see
Well, yeah.
how much Wicked drops off, how
It's
much
yeah.
this movie beats
What's the
it by,
battle?
yeah.
It's the battle between Wicked for Good and Zootopia 2.
At the ZPD, partnership is the cornerstone of success.
No, carrots! Whoa! Beautiful!
You want to put bad guys away?
Ow! Stop pulling my ears, stop pulling my ears! Never pull a bunny's ears!
Be on the same page every day.
Jiggle it, let's go! I got this! Here's the fuzz!
Toot toot.
Everybody run!
Well, can't win them all.
Brave rabbit cop Judy Hopps and her friend, the fox Nick Wilde, team up again to crack a new case, the most perilous and intricate of their careers. So this is an animated buddy cop comedy film produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. It is the sequel to 2016's Zootopia. This one's directed by Jared Bush, who returns, and Byron Howard. The film features the voices of Jennifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman, Idris Elba, and Shakira, who are all reprising roles from the first film, and they are joined by newcomers Kihui Kwan, Fortune Feimster, Andy Samberg, David Strathairn, Patrick Warburton, who also is returning. Is he returning from the first one? I feel like he was in the first one.
I think so.
Maybe not. And Quinta Brunson, who, yeah, she was in the first one. So Patrick Warburton and Quinta Brunson were in the first one. So my facts have been fucked with here. Zootopia. So Zootopia 1.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I think it's great. I think it's one of the best like Walt Disney Animation Studio movies to come out probably in the 20th century.
Yeah.
21st century, sorry. But I haven't watched it since 2016. I didn't have time to rewatch it before Zootopia 2.
I'm the same. I remember seeing it. I remember liking it. And I haven't
And
since.
so I'd be very interested on a rewatch to see how I feel because I went into Zootopia 2 being like, yeah, I remember loving Zootopia. I loved how it explored its themes around societal inclusion and racism and things like that in such a poignant way, in such an accessible way, in such a fun way. So I was like, okay, this would be right. And I seem to be the only fucking person in the world, and I don't know if you'll join me or not. I was really disappointed by this movie. I think it's a fine animated family film. I think it's better than a lot of the normal animated fanfare we get, like the Garfield movie and shit like that. I think Zootopia sits far, far above that. But as a sequel to Zootopia, I was really, really underwhelmed. I don't know how you feel though.
To me, like, yeah, I just remember liking Zootopia.
Right.
So it's like I can't really be like, oh my God, like compared to the first one. Because like, yeah, I haven't seen the first one in 9 years, which is
Yes. Yeah.
wild. God, the person I was 9 years ago. Um, but I felt this started really strong.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt it kind of towards the middle end, I was a bit like, okay, like
You were a bit like, what is going on? And
like
not necessarily what's happening in the plot, but I was like, why are we taking this many steps to
it
get
was,
there?
yeah, like there were a lot of moments that I was like, look, this is a funny joke, this is a funny sight gag. But yeah, I just felt like there was a moment where it was almost just like starting to get a bit like, I'm ready to wrap this up now.
I felt that about
But
halfway through the film. Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, like it's a very entertaining film.
Hmm.
It's relatively safe for kids. There
Yep.
was one particular joke that I was like, did I hear that correctly?
Oh, yes.
Because-
Yeah. I thought I heard fuck at one
Oh
point.
no,
Fucking, yeah.
so I thought I heard because they mention Dick,
Oh, yes.
which
That
I
joke is
found
really
out is voiced by Dwayne Johnson, and I was like, okay.
good.
But when she's saying goodbye, when
Yes.
the bunny is saying goodbye to her parents,
Yeah.
it sounds like he says, "Let me find you a dick pic,"
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and I
Let
was
me
like,
find. Yeah.
"That's a massive adult joke," and I
And
was
it
like,
also
"That's,"
doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah.
but I was like, "But that's funny because if he's trying to find a pic of the dick
Yeah.
animal, saying you're trying to find a dick pic works, but obviously to the all of the adult audiences who are like, ah,
Ah.
dick pic." Um, so there were a few jokes that I was like, this is really quite clever. This is really quite funny.
I found a lot
Um,
of the random side gags with the
yeah,
animals and stuff.
like
I
new,
found they
like
were funnier than most of the
like
glitched gags.
it said like New Jersey and New was like GNU.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Like the Mulholland Tunnel.
yes, yeah,
There was yeah, and there
and
was
sort of the way animals interact with each other and stuff, like for
yeah,
comedic purposes, is
yeah.
really funny. Yeah.
There was like the when when Nick and Judy come out of the police station, and because they've obviously
Yeah.
they stuffed up that sort of
Mm.
first arrest, and one of the cops is like, "Hey Nick, what does the fox say?" I was like, "That's really."
That is funny. Yeah, no, I thought that was good
Um,
too.
I like the Zootopia, the zebra bros just doing their little
The
bros,
two cops, yeah,
which
yeah.
I found out one of them is voiced by Roman Reigns.
Even
I was
funnier,
like,
fucking brilliant,
wild.
so funny.
Yeah, there were a few like there were like yeah, this isn't a bad movie.
No, absolutely, and I
Um,
gave it a positive review.
yeah, like it's just I just started to sort of towards the end. I was a bit like, okay, I'm just like this feels like you could have wrapped up
It felt
a bit
convoluted
earlier.
because they were trying to make it like 90, 95 minutes long. It
Yeah,
just felt like they were there are scenes that stick out that feel like they are added there either for like the when we see the mafia family again
yeah,
and they're like we're gonna give you fake identities to get out of here
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, and like that scene went on for too long,
And
and
like you could
the
have
mountain
you,
goats was funny,
but like
but
stayed
yeah,
too
it
long as well,
too
and
long, yeah, so
but I will say I was not expecting the double cross from that character.
okay, so funny you mentioned that because I'm not going to say I was expecting it,
Yeah,
but I was starting to think I'm like, oh, well, this person's voicing it, and like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I started playing that game in my head. I was like,
Right.
they're
Like,
not
yeah,
gonna
you were.
yeah. So when it happened, I liked how it happened. I thought it was very like the
I was like,
nonchalantness of it. I
yeah,
was
I
like,
was
oh
like, oh,
shit,
okay, this is yeah,
it
this
wasn't
is.
this like big grand like I've been the villain all
It was
along.
just like, yeah, it's me. Sorry. I was like, oh shit.
And when you think about it retrospectively, it makes a lot of sense because of
Oh,
how this person
absolutely.
talks
Yeah,
about
yeah,
their existence in
yeah.
what they're doing. So yeah, it's not that it I liked how it was done, and then I didn't feel like that was a bad thing. I didn't think that was a bad thing.
No,
But
no,
the
no.
ending, this movie ends like 3 fucking times.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like, guys, come on. Like, we
yeah.
need, it just feels like, you know how they say, like, oh, we always wanted to wait. I don't know if they said about this one, but generally for like
Like nine
animated sequels,
nine
they
years.
go, we waited for the right story. It's the Incredibles 2 thing. And you
Yeah.
go, like, was that really what you waited
Like
fucking 15
nine
years
years is
for?
because as I was watching it, I was like, how long? I was like, how long has it been? I was like, 9 years is a long time for. And look,
We've
some
had
early
3 Frozen movies between now,
and
two?
early.
Frozen?
There's
Third one
two.
on the way.
There's a third one on the way. Look, early projections. This thing is going to be a fucking juggernaut. Like
500 million
in
worldwide,
opening
they
weekend.
reckon.
That's wild.
Huge
So,
in China, apparently, Zootopia is. So.
but look, I will say, as you mentioned, a bunch of the cast, like the voice cast in this
It's
is
great.
next level. I
It's
was
great.
like, there are amount of people that are like, obviously, apart from all of the main characters, like Jenny Slate, is in there.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song were like
Yeah.
brother and sister, which I was
Yeah.
like, interesting. Um, like like there was other.
Patrick Warburton made me laugh every time
Yeah,
he said
I mean,
something.
he's just got that voice, so
Ke
that
Huy
works.
Quan is just so lovable. Like, even as
Yeah.
a snake, I was like, you're just fucking
Yeah,
lovable,
you're
man.
you're adorable. I really
Um,
like. I loved Fortune Feimster's voice in this.
that character's great too. So she plays a conspiracy theorist podcasting beaver, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, it's
Um,
really funny.
and I really like one of the little sight jokes that made me laugh was the when she when she's talking to the big I guess the seal in the
Oh, the
water,
sea
like
lion in the
and I was
oh,
like, Bub, hey Bub, hey Bub, hey Bub,
that
and
was
then
great. Yeah.
he
Disney
then
always do this so well. They do the animals, and as soon as they just like turn their eyes
their
outward a
eyes.
little bit, I'm like, that's
But
hilarious.
then he flips on his stomach and is
And
the boat,
he's
and he's backstroking. And then when he's just looking at them like
yeah,
this,
just
I was
staring at
like,
them.
that's really funny.
It is good. It was great, and that
Yeah,
got a
there's
lot
some
of
really great.
laughs. I want to
And then we
point
get
this out. Because you saw it in a empty cinema. It was just you.
empty cinema.
I saw it at the preview screening, which there was a lot of families and a lot of kids.
Mm,
And I would argue that there wasn't as big a reaction to a lot of things. Like there
yeah,
was really only 2 or 3 moments where the whole cinema had like a collective strong laugh.
yeah.
It just didn't feel like it hit too
Can you
hard.
remember what the jokes were that got
That
everybody?
one, the sea lion as the boat was a
Yeah,
big joke.
yeah,
Um, there was the scene where Patrick Warburton, the horse character, does something, and I'm trying to remember. He says something or does something, and I can't remember. But that was another one. But it was just like you can tell when there's like lots of laughter, and you can
yeah,
tell when something's not hitting as strong, and that was
yeah.
kind of the reaction in the room.
I giggled a lot when he was getting his photos taken. He was like, "No pictures, please," and he's like, "Actually," and then he does all that stuff. I was
All
like,
the posing and stuff. But
yeah,
yeah, I think because and this movie definitely tries to have another important message, an important theme, and
mm,
it's about outcasting and isolating a species, which obviously you can look at the class and race allegories for that,
yeah,
like Zootopia had, this one is a big one with how like elitism and corrupt governments that are run by rich people,
yeah,
how they can how they do corrupt things. And the movie's saying a lot about that, but it's done in a far less interesting way than the first film did it.
mm,
This one felt not necessarily on the nose, but it just felt a little too obvious that if I was a kid watching this, I'd be like, this is kind of boring. Like I know this is important stuff, but like you can just watch a documentary about corrupt
yeah,
governments you know,
yeah,
outcasting people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just don't think, and I think it's fair to compare it to Zootopia and be like it is a disappointing, underwhelming sequel, but it's not a bad movie and it's
no,
completely fine. But it's just not going to be like when I think 10 years from now, what the great Walt Disney Animation Studio films are. Zootopia 2 will not be nowhere near the top.
no. And it's
Zootopia
kind
1 still might be.
and it's kind of surprising that like I remember one of the biggest successful jokes and characters from the first film is the sloth.
I
And
yes.
and then it's like, it's very surprising. I was like, you guys didn't want to milk that at all because
One line in the
you
film.
get one joke in it, and I was like, and it was a funny joke
That was the other one, actually.
when he
where
was like,
they-
"Can you help
yeah.
us?" No
Oh,
problem. Like, I
problem.
was like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
funny. And
It
the
is.
fact that he drives slow but then drives really, really
Yeah,
fast,
he's a slow person, and then like
like a
once the foot's to the
speed
floor, it's a speed
speed
demon.
demon.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was surprising that I was like, really? I thought I was almost going to be like sick of you guys using the sloth in this one, and you used him
did not
very
do it.
sparingly to the point where I was like, I would have liked some more of that.
I agree.
Or
I
like,
think at
I
that
don't know,
point in the
like
movie, I was looking for stuff like that to
yeah.
keep me
So
entertained.
almost like a cutaway joke of him like maybe he's
Yeah.
trying to start the car the entire time of the movie. I don't know, something.
Mm.
Um,
No, I
but
think that's fair.
but yeah, it was yeah,
Did your
it's
best.
fine. And it's like it'll get the families in for it. It almost, but it's weird. It almost feels like a movie not designed for little kids. Almost.
I agree. No, I agree. I think if I was a kid, I'd be pretty bored with this
Like,
movie.
is it almost like, well, if you took your kids to the first one, take your teenagers to the second? Is it that sort of thing where it's like it's
It
9
might
years
be.
you, yeah.
Might be.
But no, it was fine.
Completely fine.
But I'm very happy I saw it the way that I did.
I'll tell you what, our cinema was really good. It was they were well
Yeah,
behaved, and people were
yeah.
having fun, as much fun as they could have. So that is Zootopia 2, and that is another episode of the World of Screens podcast come to an end. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and you're not following us, make sure you do, and make sure you download the episodes. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It helps us get into the algorithms. Instagram at World of Screens, worldofscreens.com. Subscribe to the emailing list there. Next week, we have more it's 3 weekends of sequels in a row. We got Five Nights at Freddy's 2,
Mm,
which you can see both of our interviews with director Emma Tammy and star Josh Hutcherson on
yes.
NovaStream and AU Review. But Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Nuremberg, the historical drama starring Russell Crowe, and the romantic comedy Eternity. So we got a very eclectic mix of films next week. But
And I only
oh
have
yeah.
to watch one of them, which is great.
Actually, yeah, no, yeah, I've got Nuremberg lined up, and then we both have to see Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I think we will be double billing with Marty Supreme next week, which is
I
pretty
think so, which will
exciting.
be a wild double
A
feature.
wild, wild double feature. But until next time, if you want to see more of us, Pete, where shall the people find you?
The people can find me on Instagram and X at ratedpdg, theaureview.com for all of the reviews and interviews, and me doing random music retrospectives.
I saw that. You got a Britney
Like,
Spears one up
I was
today.
like, why the hell not? I was like, Blackout is still one of the greatest albums of all time, and you can read why I think so. And yes, oh, there'll be so many things. Like literally, I did an interview this morning. I'm doing an interview in about an hour and a half, so that it doesn't stop. So you can see all the things on the aureview.com or Rotten Tomatoes, GRAY, and occasionally Cinefied.com.
Yes.
Which is where my review of Nuremberg will actually be going up. So
There we go. Shout out to Connor, as always, an absolute legend of a human being. Been watching his videos too. I know he's doing a lot more videos on social media, and he's been killing it. So
yeah,
it's just fantastic. I'm at NixFlixFix on Instagram, X, and Letterboxd. But as most importantly, worldofscreens.com, you will see everything there.